Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Let us chant one round of japa with Srila Prabhupada. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namne Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, 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 Ram. Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद, श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय, ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय, ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयं मुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवत्युत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्ता स्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे, निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद, श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, श्रीमद् भगवद गीता एज इट इज की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, समवेत गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। Hare Krishna, dear devotees, welcome to today's Srimad Bhagavatam for all session. Let us recite Bhagavad Gita Shloka. We are reciting from Srimad Bhagavad Gita as it is, chapter 13, text 21. Aditi Lata Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Arunita.
कार्यकारणा कर्तव्ये हेतु प्रकृति उच्यते, नित्य सुख दुःखानां भोक्तृहेतुरुच्यते. Nature is said to be the cause of all material causes and effects, whereas the living entity is the cause of the various sufferings and enjoyments in this world. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Okay. Mataji is not there?
Yes. Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Please accept my humble obeisances, Mataji. Jai Srila Prabhupada.
कार्यकारणकर्तृत्वे हेतु प्रकृतिरुच्यते पुरुषा सुख दुःखानां भोक्तृत्व हेतुरुच्यते. Nature is said to be the cause of all material causes and effects, whereas the living entity is the cause of the various sufferings and enjoyments in this world. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. Priyanka Haripriya Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Please accept my humble obeisances, Mataji. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
कार्यकारणकर्तृत्वे हेतुः प्रकृतिरुच्यते पुरुषः सुखदुःखानां भोक्तृत्वे हेतुरुच्यते. Nature is said to be the cause of all material causes and effects, whereas the living entity is the cause of the various sufferings and enjoyments in this world.
Isha.
कार्यकारणकर्तृत्वे हेतु प्रकृतिरुच्यते पुरुषः सुखदुःखानां भोक्तृत्वे हेतुरुच्यते. Nature is said to be the cause of all material causes and effects, whereas the living entity is the cause of the various sufferings and enjoyments in this world.
Madhava. Say clearly. Karya Karana Kartritve. Distinctly. Nature is. Krishna Shish.
कार्यकारणकर्तृत्वे हेतु प्रकृतिरुच्यते पुरुषः सुखदुःखानां भोक्तृत्वे हेतुरुच्यते. Nature is said to be the cause of all material causes and effects, whereas the living entity is the cause of the various sufferings and enjoyment in this world.
Rasapriya.
कार्यकारणकर्तृत्वे हेतु प्रकृतिरुच्यते पुरुषः सुखदुःखानां भोक्तृत्वे हेतुरुच्यते. Nature is said to be the cause of all material causes and effects, whereas the living entity is the cause of the various sufferings and enjoyments in this world.
Yes. Srimad Bhagavad Gita, as it is, chapter 13, text 21. Karya Karana Kartritve Hetuhu Prakritiruchyate Purushaha Sukha Dukkhanam Bhoktritve Heturuchyate. Nature is said to be the cause of all material causes and effects, whereas the living entity is the cause of the various sufferings and enjoyments in this world. Okay. So let's read Srimad Bhagavatam. We're reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 9. One second. Somebody join. Krishna Shish. Okay. So we're reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 9, Chapter 21. The dynasty of Bharat Maharaj. In that we were reading about Rantidev. So yesterday we read, because Rantidev was a pure devotee, all his followers, who are his followers, his officers, his family members, his friends, his relatives, they all became first class Vaishnavas. First class Vaishnavas means they were all Mahabhagavatas. He was a Mahabhagavata, and by following his principles, they all became the best of yogis. They all became Mahabhagavatas. If there is one Mahabhagavat devotee, by his influence, so many Mahabhagavatas will be formed. And also we read about Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur's quote, how to recognize a meritorious Vaishnava. That means who is a superior Vaishnava. How would you know? A Vaishnava, the superiority of a Vaishnava is understood by the number of devotees that he makes. Right? The more devotees, and devotees means, of course, pure devotees. Here we are seeing that all of them became Mahabhagavatas. Quality is also important. But the more devotees a Vaishnava makes, that tells us how superior that Vaishnava is. That means his power of bhakti is more. His love of Godhead is more. And more love of Godhead means more compassion. And more compassion, therefore, he is making more and more devotees. Like that. So then, let's read the next verse. Text 21. I'm sorry, 19 and 20. And Arunita needs to read, right? Mataji read yesterday. Arunita will read now.
Yes,
Gargachinistato gargya kshatrad brahmahya vartata duritakshayo mahaviryat tasya trayarunihi kavihi pushkararunir ityatra ye brahmana gatim gataha brihat kshatrasya putro bhud dhasti yadhastinapuram. Yeah,
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
From Garga came a son named Shrini, and his son was Gagya. Although Gagya was a Kshatriya, there came from him a generation of Brahmanas. From Mahavirya came a son named
Duritakshaya.
Durutakshaya, whose sons were Trayaruni, Kavi, and
Pushkararuni.
Pushkararuni. Although these sons of Durutakshaya took birth in the dynasty of Kshatriyas, there were two attained in the position of Brahmanas.
Brihat Kshatra.
Brihatshratra had a son named Hasti, who established the city of Hastinapur, now New Delhi.
Yes, Hare Krishna. So that tells us that the Pandavas are also coming from the Moon dynasty or Bharat dynasty. You'll see several times in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna addresses Arjuna as O Bharata. Bharata means O descendant of Bharata. Which Bharata? This Bharata. Bharata, the son of Dushmanta, King Dushmanta. Like that. Okay, so now let's go back. So we were reading about Rantidev, but this is Rantidev is a descendant coming from Bharat Maharaj. So maybe we can quickly look at that, the connection. So Bharadwaja is the son of Bharat Maharaj. Okay, and the son of Bharadwaja was Manyu. Bharadwaja had other names, Vitatha and Vitatha. Okay, and his son is Manyu. Manyu had 5 sons: Brihat Kshatra, Jaya, Mahavirya, Nara, and Garga. So now we are reading about this Garga. Okay, Garga. So this Garga. So Bharat Maharaj had a son called Bharadwaja. Bharadwaja was actually given to him by the Maruts. Okay, so this Bharadwaja had 5 sons. I'm sorry, he had 1 son. Bharadwaja had 5 sons. Had 1 son called Manyu, and Manyu had 5 sons. And of those, one of them is Garga. Of these 5, the one known as Nara had a son named Sankriti. So Garga we are going to read now. But what about Rantidev? He's coming from Nara. Nara had a son called Sankriti. Sankriti had 2 sons named Guru and Rantidev. Okay. Nara had a son called Sankriti. Sankriti had 2 sons, Guru and Rantidev. So we read about Rantidev. Now we are going to read about Garga. So Garga, Nara, Mahavirya, Jaya, Brihat, Kshatra are the sons of Manyu. Manyu is the son of Bharadwaj, who is the son of Bharat Maharaj. So that's the connection. Okay. So here we are reading this Garga, who is the son of Manu, another son of Manu. Garga, from Garga came a son named Shini. Oh my God, this is another great Dani. Dani means a very charitable person. Like Rantidev, now there is Shini. Shini. So Shini is the son of Garga. Same family, Shini. And Shini's son was Gargya. Garga's son Shini, Shini's son Gargya. Gargya was a Kshatriya because they are all descendants from Bharat Maharaj. Bharat Maharaj is a Kshatriya. Bharatwaj is a Kshatriya. His son Manu is a Kshatriya. The next 5 sons are Kshatriyas. Right? So Garga is a Kshatriya. Garga's son Shini is a Kshatriya. Shini's son Gargya is a Kshatriya. But Gargya gave birth to a generation of Brahmanas. So again, what does this tell us? Brahmana Kshatriya is not simply by birth, but it is by quality. So even though one is born in a Kshatriya family, if he exhibits the characteristics of a Brahmana, then he is a Brahmana. He is accepted as a Brahmana. So even though Gargya was a Kshatriya, he produced a generation of Brahmanas. Okay, now who is Mahavirya? Another son of Manu. Okay, Garga, Nara, and Mahavirya. Mahavirya is another son of Manu. From Mahavirya came a son named Duritakshaya, whose son was Trayaruni, Kavi. Sons. He had 3 sons. Mahavirya's son is Duritakshaya. Duritakshaya had 3 sons, Trayaruni, Kavi, and Pushkararuni. Although these sons of Duritakshaya took birth in a dynasty of Kshatriyas, so this is another brother's family. They also became Brahmanas. Duritakshaya's sons also became Brahmanas. Just like Gargya's sons became Brahmanas. Who's Gargya? Shini's son. Shini is Garga's son. So Gargya was a Kshatriya, but his sons became Brahmanas. Similarly, Mahavirya's son Duritakshaya and Duritakshaya's sons Trayaruni, Kavi, and Pushkarini. So this Duritaksha has 3 sons, right? Trayaruni, Kavi, Pushkararuni. They were also Kshatriya. They took birth in a dynasty of Kshatriyas, but all of them became Brahmanas. Trayaruni, Kavi, Pushkararuni. They became Brahmanas. Then there is another brother, Brihat Kshatra, again son of Manu. Manu had 5 sons, remember? So we read about Sankriti, Nara, and from there we read about Rantidev. Then we read about Garga, whose son is Shini, and then Gargya. Then we read about Mahavirya, okay, whose son is Duritakshaya, and he had 3 sons. All of them became Brahmanas. Now the 4th son is Brihat Kshatra. This Brihat Kshatra had a son called Hasti, and he established a city called Hastinapur, which is the capital city of the Kurus, the descendants of Kuru. Brihat Kshatra's son Hasti established Hastinapur, which is New Delhi today's. And old Delhi is Indraprastha. Text 21. So next is Isha. Okay. Ajamidho dvimidhascha urumidhascha hastinaha ajamidhasya vamshyasyu priyamedhadayo dvijaha.
From King Hasti came 3 sons, named Ajamedha, Dvimedha, and Purumedha. The descendants of Ajamedha, headed by Priyamedha, all achieved the position of Brahmanas.
Wow. So there were 5 sons of Manu, right? So Garga's descendants, so not immediate, but 3 generations later, they all became Brahmanas. Garga's descendants. Then Mahavirya's descendants also became Brahmanas. Brihat Kshatra's son is Hasti, and Hasti's descendants also became Brahmanas. Well, not all of them. So Hasti had 3 sons. From King Hasti came 3 sons named Ajamedha, Dvimedha and Purumedha. Okay. Hasti, who established the city of Hastinapur. He had 3 sons, Ajamedha, Dvimedha and Purumedha. The descendants of Ajamedha, headed by Priyamedha, all achieved the position of Brahmanas. So Ajamedha's descendants became Brahmanas. Purport, Krishna Shish.
The source gives evidence confirming the statement of Bhagavad Gita that the orders of society, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudra, are calculated in terms of qualities and activities. Vidunakana Vibhaksha. All the descendants of Ajamedha, who was a Kshatriya, became Brahmanas. This was certainly because of their qualities and activities. Similarly, sometimes the sons of Brahmanas or Kshatriyas become Vaishyas. Brahmana Vaishyatam Yata. When a Kshatriya or Brahmana adopts the occupation or duty of a Vaishya, Rishi Goraksha Varnijam, he is certainly counted as a Vaishya. On the other hand, if one is born as a Vaishya, as activities he can become a Brahmana. This is confirmed by Nalagini. Yasya Yal Lakshanam Proktam. The members of the Varnas or social orders, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudra, must be ascertained by their symptoms, not by birth. Birth is immaterial, quality is essential.
Very clearly said here, right? We are all familiar with the verse of Bhagavad Gita, Chaturvarnyam Maya Srishtam Guna Karma Vibhagashaha. Krishna is saying, Chaturvarnyam Maya Srishtam. This Varnashram system consisting of the 4 social orders and 4 spiritual orders. Chaturvarnyam Maya Srishtam. Okay, Varnas, specifically here, Chaturvarnas, the 4 Varnas, Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, they are created by me, Krishna is saying. But how do you identify a person as belonging to a particular Varna? Guna Karma Vibhagasha. They are divided based on one's qualities and his work. Qualities and work. Not by birth. Not by birth. Interesting. Srila Prabhupada very clearly says here, not by birth. You may have an advantage by birth, because if you're born in a particular family and if they are already having those, practicing, their living, their work is that of Brahmana, then by growing up in that atmosphere, you stand a very good chance of becoming a Brahmana. But ultimately, you will be called a Brahmana by your work that you do and by your qualities also. What are the qualities of Brahmana? His work. What is the work of Brahmana and what are the qualities of Brahmana? We see that in Bhagavad Gita. In Bhagavad Gita, 18th chapter, we see what are the qualities of Brahmana, what are the qualities of Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. This is explained. Here, this is the quality of Brahmana. Peacefulness, self-control, austerity, purity, tolerance. These are the qualities. Guna. Guna means qualities. Peacefulness, self-control, austerity. Not going after sense gratification. Austerity, purity, tolerance, honesty. Honesty means he's truthful. You won't lie, right? Tolerating the dualities. Knowledge, wisdom, and religiousness. These are the natural qualities by which the Brahmanas work. These are the qualities. Shamo damas tapah shaucham kshantir arjavam evacha jnanam vijnanam astikyam brahma karma swabhavajam. This is Brahmana's quality. And then what is Brahmana's work? Pathan pathan yajan yajan dana pratigraha. Pathan pathan. This is his work. This is what he does for his livelihood. He studies the scriptures, Vedas, and he teaches the Vedas to others. Yajan, he worships the Supreme Lord. That means he himself is worshipping the Lord, and he is also performing worshipping activities for other classes in society. For Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, he performs worship for them, and he does various samskaras, Vivaha samskara, Shraddha samskara, like this. So Yajan and Yajan. He is worshipping himself, he is doing the Vedic, following the Vedic rituals, he is worshipping, and he is also worshipping for others. Pathan, he studies, he teaches. Yajan, Dana pratigraha. Dana, he lives a simple life. So whatever is excess, more than what he needs for his basic sustenance, he gives it away in charity, and he will accept whatever donation is given to him. These are the activities of a Brahmana. If you see these, if somebody is living by this principle, if these are the activities of a person, and if you see the qualities of Shamo, Damas, Tapas, Shaucham, if you see these qualities, then you know he's a Brahmana, regardless of where he's born. Even if he's born to a king, if you see these qualities, then you identify him as a Brahmana. So Krishna said this in Bhagavad Gita. Not only Krishna, but also Narad Muni says this. This is confirmed by Narad Muni. Yasya yal lakshanam proktam. Lakshanam means what? Lakshanam means symptoms, right? Lakshana. Characteristic features, specifically. Lakshana means characteristic features. You'll find, so when you find this, that means these qualities are characteristic of a Brahmana or any other Varna. They have certain characteristic features, like Kshatriya also has certain characteristic features. What are the characteristic features of a Kshatriya? Heroism, power, determination, resourcefulness, courage in battle, generosity, right? He's very charitable, he's very courageous in battle, he's never, uh, you know, uh, he's never timid, right? He's very brave, he's determined, he has power to rule others, to control others, and he's heroic, and he's a leader, right? These are the natural qualities, characteristic features of a Kshatriya. Of course, for Vaishyas and Shudras, the characters are not so much described because they are, as you go down, they are identified more by their work than by the qualities. Higher classes like Brahmanas, you see so many qualities are mentioned for Brahmanas. Kshatriyas, also the qualities are mentioned, but not as many if you pay attention. And for Vaishyas and Shudras in one shloka only, both Vaishyas and Shudras are described. And for them, you just describe their work. Their qualities are not described so much, right? Just their work. You recognize them by their work. What is the work of Vaishyas? Farming, cow protection, and trade. Krishi, Goraksha, Vanijyam. Vaishya Karma Swabhavajam. And Shudras, they are Paricharyatmakam. They work for others, right? They work as servants. These are the qualities of these are the characteristic features by which you recognize. So therefore, here we see that Ajamida, even though he is a Kshatriya, he is born of a Kshatriya father, he himself is a Kshatriya, but all his descendants were Brahmanas. How do you know they are Brahmanas? By their quality and by their work. This is confirmed by Krishna in Bhagavad Gita and also by Narad Muni, that you recognize a Varna by the characteristic feature, not by birth. You ascertain the Varna of a person by symptoms, not by birth. That is why when it is essential to send the children to Gurukul, because in Gurukul the teacher can actually ascertain what is the Varna of the student. If he sees that the student is a Brahmana, then he will train the student like a Brahmana. Nature is already there. Guna, qualities. He will see the qualities. His natural aptitude for certain types of work and his qualities in higher classes like Brahmanas and Kshatriyas. They have these qualities. So by that the teacher identifies, the guru identifies what is the varna of this student, and then he will give education accordingly. So that's why Gurukul is also very important for a varnashram society, to recognize and then to engage them accordingly. So we are reading about the descendants of Bharat Maharaj. Bharat Maharaj's son is Bharadwaj. Bharadwaj had a son Manyu. Manyu had 5 sons. And then we are reading about the descendants coming from these 5 sons. We read about Sankriti and actually before Sankriti, Nara. One of the 5 sons is Nara. His son is Sankriti. Sankriti's son is Rantidev. So we read Guru and Rantidev. He had 2 sons. So we read about Rantidev. Then we read about another son of Manyu, Garga. Garga had a son called Shini. Shini had a son called Gargya. And all the descendants of Gargya, now Gargya is a Kshatriya, but all his descendants became Brahmanas. Then another son is Mahavirya. Mahavirya's son is, what is that name? D. Kshatra. Let me see. Dur. Duritakshaya. Duritakshaya. His son is Duritakshaya. Okay. Duritakshaya had 3 sons. All of them became Brahmanas. Duritakshaya. Okay. And then what else did we read? After Mahavirya, we read about Brihat Kshatra. The 4th son is Brihat Kshatra. And Brihat Kshatra's son is Hasti. And Hasti had 3 sons, Ajameda, Devameda, and what was that? Another Ajameda, Devameda, and not Priyameda. Ajameda, Devameda, and Purumeda. Purumeda. Okay. And of these, all Ajameda's sons became Brahmanas. So more than one, in more than one case, we are seeing that the father is a Kshatriya, but all the sons became Brahmanas. So Srila Prabhupada is also explaining in the purport that not that from Kshatriyas they'll become Brahmanas. Kshatriya's sons can also become Vaishyas, right? They are interested in making, so Kshatriya's quality, Vaishya's quality is they like money. So they like money. So therefore they're always thinking about how to increase what they have, right? How to increase money by this business or that business or by various things, right? They're always thinking. That's a Vaishya's mentality. Shudra's mentality is they're just servants. They cannot, do anything independently on their own. They are not resourceful. They cannot start anything on their own. They're dependent. Or they need a master. But the good quality of the Shudra is they're very faithful to the master. Shudra's quality is he's very faithful to the master. Like a dog. Is very faithful to its master, right? It always wishes the good of the master. Like that. So that's also actually a great quality. We want to be faithful to Krishna like that, right? So Shudra's quality is they're very faithful to the master. Like that. So by these qualities you recognize, and by the work you recognize if one is a Brahman Kshatriya. So a Kshatriya's son can also be a Vaishya. How do you know? If a Brahmana is engaged in business, sometimes you will see, right? Brahmana is engaged in, he opens a shop and is engaged in making money. What do you understand? Of course, it is said by Narad Muni in the 7th canto. Those last chapters are describing about the duties of, various varnas and ashrams. In emergency, sometimes emergencies come in life, right? And then, Dronacharya is an example, right? He's a Brahmana. Brahmana never accepts any salary, actually. He doesn't accept salary. He doesn't work for anyone. Even though he teaches, he doesn't accept a salary. Anyway, but also he was fighting on behalf of the Kshatriyas, right? So Brahmana's duty is Pathan, Pathan, Yajan, Yajan, Dana, Pratigraha, but he was actually fighting in the battlefield also. So anyway, the point is, in emergency, a Brahmana is allowed to take up a Vaishya's profession until the emergency is over. But even after the emergency is over, if he feels comfortable with that profession, and if he's just continuing with that profession of trade or cow protection and farming, and if he's simply surviving with that without doing the duties of a Brahmana, then you should understand he's a Vaishya. He's a Vaishya. So sometimes Brahmana's children become Vaishyas also, or they can become Kshatriyas. Can you give an example of a Brahmana's son who became a Kshatriya? Brahmana's son who became a Kshatriya.
Parshuramji.
Parashuram, yes. Yes. And Kshatriya's son who became a Brahmana? Isha. Vishwamitra. Yes, correct. Like that.
Wait, can I say something?
Yeah.
Also, Dronacharya's son Ashwatthama, he was a Brahmana's son, but he became a Kshatriya.
Yeah, that's true. He also became a Kshatriya. That's right. He was actually the son of a Brahmana, but he's always, with the Kshatriyas, and he's acting like a Kshatriya. We never hear of Ashwatthama actually teaching as a teacher. Do we ever hear that about him? No. He's like a warrior all the time. That's true. Ashwatthama. Like that. Okay. So, it's not Mataji. Yes, Priyanka Haripriya Mataji, you're raising your hand. Before.
I think Mataji, it's from before. Sorry.
Oh, no problem. Aditi Latam.
Mataji, for the example, I mean, this is a complicated example, but Parshuram, because, of course, because he was changed and all those things, but the nature, like he was a Kshatriya, but we know the exchange and all.
Yeah, you're saying circumstantially he became a Kshatriya. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, but I mean, he was a son of Brahmana.
Yes.
But he was, of course, we know that he was exchanged. He was supposed to be a Kshatriya. So, but then, like if you see it that way, that his characteristics was of Kshatriya, right?
Yes.
But then he actually had it in him. He was supposed to be a Kshatriya, but he was exchanged. Yeah.
No, he was exchanged means that is how he took birth in a Brahmana's family. Actually, he was a Kshatriya, but he took birth in a Brahmana family because of that exchange of that oblations.
Yes, that's what.
Yeah. So, I mean, not exactly by exchange of oblations, but otherwise, something like that. Why would a Brahmana take, especially back then when especially when what do you say? When the Vedic culture was existent, right, in society, it was properly followed in society. Then when someone takes birth in a Kshatriya family, naturally he's put in that particular family because his nature matches with that, isn't it?
But still, sometimes you see in a Kshatriya family, a Brahmana is born, like we are seeing here. Ajameda's descendants are all Brahmanas. That means there will be some history. That's what I'm saying. In Parashuram's case, we know what exactly happened. There was some exchange of oblations or whatever. But when the Vedic system is existing, there sometimes you will, of course, there can be many reasons, but one of the reason can be to prove to us the words of Krishna and Narad Muni that if 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 always those who take birth in a Brahmana family turned out to be Brahmanas all the time, and then how you will believe the words that it is by quality, not by birth, isn't it? So you also need examples to show that no, it's not by birth alone, or it is not by birth. It's actually by quality that you determine one is a Kshatriya. So Karna is another example, right? I mean, of course, same, exchanged. He went, although he took birth from a Kshatriya mother and also a demigod. In demigods also you have Brahmanas, Kshatriyas. You know that, right? Like Brihaspati is a Brahmana in demigods. And uh, of course, Narad Muni is also called a sage amongst demigods, but he's transcendental. Narad Muni is transcendental. But, Indra, they are all Kshatriyas. In demigods also, they have Brahmanas and Kshatriyas. So Surya's son is Karna. Surya and Kunti Devi. So they are Kshatriyas. So he's born as a Kshatriya. Nevertheless, he was raised in a Shudra's family. Everyone is thinking he's a Shudra. You can imagine, they must be like, it must look very weird, strange, isn't it? That why he's after, weapons and all that. He should be interested in pottery and, other activities that Shudras do. Why he is interested in this? Because that's what everyone around him is doing, but his heart was not there. What does that mean? His guna, he has the guna of a Kshatriya. So certainly there will be history for everyone why he's acting. That nature he's carrying, isn't it? Nature he's already carrying. His subtle body is carrying that nature. So everyone has a particular nature, but if it's not identified and channelized properly, then it's a waste of energy. It's like you're forcing someone who's not a Brahmana, you're training and training and training and trying to make him a Brahmana, but he doesn't have that in his nature. He's not a Brahmana. And he's also frustrated because there's so much expectation from him and he doesn't have any aptitude for that. And the people who are trying to train, they're also frustrated why this boy doesn't get. On the other hand, if the guru recognizes, oh, this boy has vicious tendency, and then if he gives him proper education and trains him, then he will really flourish well because that matches with his nature. Of course, this is still on the material platform, bodily platform. But as long as you're on the bodily platform, this has to be taken into account so that life will be smooth and peaceful. When you're peaceful, then you can work on transcendence, right? This is the general procedure. So this is the Vedic lifestyle, recognizing the nature and then guiding that person. But what is the goal? Simply to make money or to live peacefully in this life? Is that the goal? No. You become peaceful so that you don't have to worry and be like always worry about your material things, how this will happen or that will happen. You're peaceful because you're in your natural means, again, on the bodily platform, certainly on the material platform, but you are situated according to your nature, so you're peaceful. And now you can focus on the spiritual life. The goal is always progressing in spiritual life. Of course, there are some cases like once you surrender, that's a different story. Surrender means then you enter into pure devotional service. Then it does not matter what your nature is, because surrender means now you can work in any capacity. You are a Brahmana by nature, you can work as a Kshatriya, no problem. You take Srila Prabhupada. He was expert at management. He was the best Brahmana, right? He's the best in everything. Cooking, cleaning, deity worship, business, dealings in this world, everything perfect. This is a Vaishnava. A Vaishnava can act in any capacity, but we cannot imitate that, right? We are not on that level. So if you are in first grade, then you have to act. You have to study what there is in the first grade. If you try to study what is in the 10th grade or in the 12th grade or college, you cannot comprehend. Anyway, so that's the thing. Ajamida's sons, they all became Brahmanas, even though Ajamida was a Kshatriya. So next is Madhava. Ajamidad brihadishus tasya putro brihadhanuhu brihadkayastatastasya putra asid jayadratha. Okay, next.
Ajamida gave a son named Dasi. From Dasi gave a son named Dhanu. From Dhanu, a son named Kaya. And from Kaya, a son named Jayadratha.
From Ajamida came a son named Brihadishu. So these are all Brahmanas, right? Ajamida's son Brihadishu. From Brihadishu came a son named Brihadhanu. From Brihadhanu, a son named Brihadkaya. And from Brihadkaya, a son named Jayadratha. One after another. All Brahmanas, right? Brihadishu, Brihadhanu, Brihadkaya, and Jayadratha. Jayadratha. I don't know. I don't think it's the same Jayadratha. Next, 23. Rasapriya. Tatsuto vishadastasya syenajit samajayata ruchirashvo dridahanuhu kashyo vatsascha tatsutaha. Rasapriya.
The son of Jayadratha was Visada, and his son was Senajat. The sons of Senajat were Ruchirasva, Dridhahanu, Saya, and Vatsa.
So, continuation of the dynasty. From Jayadratha was the son of Jayadratha was Vishada, and his son was Syenajit. The son of Syenajit was Ruchirashva, Dridhahanu, Kashya, and Vatsa. So next, Sonia Mataji. Ruchirashvasutah paraha prithusenastadaatmajah parasya tanayo nipas tasya putra shatam tvabhut.
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Please accept my humble obeisances, Mataji. Jai Srila Prabhupada.
The son of Ruchirasva was Para, and the son of Para were Pruthusena and Nipa. Nipa had 100 sons.
Yes. So, Hare Krishna. We are still going down in the dynasty of Ajamida. So, the son of Ruchirashva is Para. Sons of Para were Prithusena and Nipa. Nipa had 100 sons. Next, Lokesh. Sakritvyam Shuka Kanyayam Brahmadattam Ajijanat Yogi Sa Gavi Bharyayam Vishwaksenam Adhat Sutam.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Dandavad Pranam Mataji. Jai Shri Prabhupada.
King Nipa begot a son named Brahmadatta through the womb of his wife Prithvi, who was a daughter of Shuka. And Brahmadatta, who was a great yogi, begot a son named Vishwakshena through the womb of his wife Saraswati.
King Nipa begot a son named Brahmadatta through the womb of his wife Kritvi. So we came up to Nipa, right, in the dynasty. Nipa had a son called Brahmadatta from his wife Kritvi. Kritvi was the daughter of Shuka. So this son of Nipa called Brahmadatta was a great yogi, and he had a son named Vishwaksena through the womb of his wife Saraswati. Nipa's wife is Kritvi, and Kritvi is the daughter of Shuka. So Nipa and Kritvi had Brahmadatta. Brahmadatta was a great yogi. Brahmadatta's wife is Saraswati. Brahmadatta and Saraswati had Vishwaksena. Purport. Lokesh is there?
No, Mataji, he went to restroom.
Okay, Mataji. Medha or Usha Mataji? Not ready?
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dhanvat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to the assembled devotees.
Dhanvat Pranam Mataji. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Purport.
The Sukha mentioned here is different from the Sukadeva Goswami, who spoke Srimad Bhagavatam. Sukadeva Goswami, the son of Vyasadeva, is described in great detail in Brahma Vaivarta Purana. There it is said that Vyasadeva maintained the daughter of Jabali as his wife, and that after they performed penances together for many years, he placed his seed in her womb. The child remained in the womb of his mother for 12 years. And when the father asked the son to come out, the son replied that he would not come out unless he were completely liberated from the influence of Maya. Vyasadeva then assured the child that he would not be influenced by Maya, but the child did not believe his father, for the father was still attached to his wife and children. Vyasadeva then went to Dwaraka and informed the personality of Godhead about his problem. And the personality of Godhead, at Vyasadeva's request, went to Vyasadeva's cottage, where he assured the child in the womb that he would not be influenced by Maya. Thus assured, the child came out, but he immediately went away as Parivrajacharya. When the father Parivrajacharya. When the father, very much aggrieved, began to follow his saintly boy, Sukadeva Goswami, the boy created a duplicate Sukadeva, who later entered family tree. Therefore, the Sukha Kanya, or daughter of Sukadeva, mentioned in this verse is the daughter of the duplicate or imitation Sukadeva. The original Sukadeva was lifelong brahmachari.
Wow, so nice. So this whole thing is given where? In Brahma Vaivarta Purana. So that's your reference. If you want to know in detail about Sukadeva Goswami, in great detail you'll find about him in Brahma Vaivarta Purana. So what are we reading here? That Brahmadatta's son is Vishwaksena. Right? So Vishwaksena means, where does it say Shuka? Kritvi, the daughter of Shuka, it is said, na? Here. Sakritvyam Shuka Kanyayam. So this is Shuka Kanya means the daughter of Shuka. So I didn't get that doubt. Shuka means Shukadeva Goswami. I didn't think, but it is the daughter of Sukadeva Goswami only. Okay. So Nipa. So Nipa is who? Coming in Bharat dynasty, right? Nipa is coming down in Bharat dynasty. And Nipa's wife is Sukadeva Goswami, Sukha's daughter. It's not said Goswami here. Sukadeva Goswami is not, it said Sukha. Sukha's daughter is Kritvi. So that's why this history of Sukha's daughter is said, because we know Sukadeva Goswami, he never married, he didn't have any children. Now how Sukha's daughter is coming, you may question. So that's why it is explained here. So this Sukha is a duplicate Sukadev. This Sukadev is a duplicate Sukadev. Who created this? Sukadev Goswami only created a duplicate Sukadev. Right? You can say like an expansion or something. And that why he created a duplicate Sukadev. So you heard this whole story, right? He didn't want to come out from his mother's womb. Sukadev Goswami didn't want to come out of his mother's womb. His mother was pregnant. Who is his mother? Jabali's daughter. So Vyasdev and Jabali's daughter. He was maintaining Jabali's daughter. And they performed tapasya for a long time. And then he impregnated her. And Sukadev Goswami was in her womb. But even though it was time for delivery, the baby wouldn't come out. He stayed in the mother's womb for 12 years, it is said here. Okay. I think elsewhere we read 16, but whatever. That's a detail. So he stayed there for 12 years in the womb of his mother. And Vyasdev is concerned, why you're not coming? And he said, because I'm afraid of Maya. If I come into this material world, I will be covered by Maya. I don't want to come. So he said, no, you will be protected. I don't trust you. I won't come. Why? Why you don't trust? Because Vyasdev, is a householder. Householder means he'll be attached to wife and home and children. So then Vyasdev went and got Krishna, Lord Krishna from Dwarka. He requested Lord Krishna. This is the situation. So when Lord Krishna came and assured the child in the womb, don't worry, you come out, you will be protected. You won't be, entangled by Maya. Then when Lord Krishna said that, he came out. But after coming out, he didn't stay with his father and mother at home. Immediately he left home. So we read this in the beginning of Srimad Bhagavatam. Right? Vyasdev is calling out, Putra, Putra, like that. But he didn't even turn back. He just kept going. Sukadev Goswami kept going like that. So then, of course, taking pity on his father, because the father is crying after him and following him. So then he sent a duplicate Sukadev with the father back. So now Vyasdev had a son, right? And then, so that Sukadev, he entered into Grihastha ashram, and he had a daughter called Krithvi. This Krithvi married Nipa. Nipa is a descendant of Bharat Maharaj. And they had a son called Brahmadatta. Brahmadatta is a great yogi. And Brahmadatta's wife is Saraswati, and they had a son called Vishwaksena. That's the story. Yes, Aditi Lata Mataji.
Mataji, two points. One is question, that is, how did Krishna come? Krishna already finished his pastime when Sukdev Goswami arrived, because Sukdev Goswami, after coming out of his mother's womb, he when he came to Parikshit Maharaj, right, and then he gave all this knowledge. So Krishna was not there at that time, right? Because Parikshit Maharaj grew up, and then so there is a time. I mean, I know we can't calculate time like that, but
No. Parikshit Maharaj was not. In one of the, I think, Bhakti Vaibhav classes, I remember this is Dwapar Yuga, so their life is not just, or it is the end of Dwapar Yuga, right? So their life is still longer. It's not like Kali Yuga, just 100 years. It's longer. But anyway, that means you may not calculate if somebody is 50 years old, then it's not like they're old people or they're getting old. If they have a longer lifespan. But when Parikshit Maharaj was born, Lord Krishna was still there. Remember, Parikshit Maharaj was in the womb of
yes,
Uttara.
he was saved. That's what I'm saying. But after that, when Parikshit Maharaj became a ruler, and like, that means he grew up, and like, he was not a baby, right? So all these pastimes with Parikshit Maharaj happened, and then when he was cursed, and then he was sitting for this, then Shukdev Goswami came. So at that time,
Yeah, but about Parikshit Maharaj also, it is said he was not an old man or anything when he was cursed. He was still young.
No, but at that time, Arjuna and all the Pandavas were not leaving when Parikshit Maharaj left his body, right? Otherwise, they would have been story about that. So they already left the
No,
body.
but
Means
when
Krishna left.
when Sukadev Goswami came to Parikshit Maharaj, he was 16. He was 16
Here.
years old. And here it is said that he came out of the womb when he was 12. So still there was some time in between, 4 years.
No, I'm not calculating that way. I'm not calculating the time. I'm calculating the events that when Parikshit Maharaj sat
Was
with Sukhdev
cursed.
Goswami, even when he was cursed, that time Pandavas were not there, right? Before that,
Right.
they left their body. Otherwise, they would have been in the past time.
Yes.
So, because when they left their body, Pandavas, Krishna left before that. That is why they also left.
Yes.
So, before Krishna was not there. So, I'm
Yeah.
thinking because Supreme Personality, they are saying maybe Vasudev called Vishnu. I don't know. Maybe
No,
Krishna.
no. Krishna only. He went to Dwaraka called Krishna, and it was
But he's
Krishna
not
who
there
came.
in Dwarka, no? I mean, maybe from Vaikuntha Dwarka, maybe.
No. Why you're saying that he's not there already? Because that's why I'm giving you here. When Krishna came, Parikshit Maharaj, Sukadev Goswami, he came out of his mother when he was 12, it is said.
He was younger than Parikshit Maharaj.
Yes.
So that means Parikshit Maharaj, when Sukdev Goswami came, Krishna already left the earthly planet, right?
When Parikshit Maharaj came, no, Krishna already left, you're saying.
Yeah, because he did not wait, right? Because Parikshit, Sukdev Goswami, immediately after taking birth, he left everything and he started wandering, and then he came across Parikshit Maharaj. So it's not like he waited for 10 years and then he came, no?
4 years, that's what I'm saying. 12
4 years.
years he came out, and he was 16 when he came to Parikshit Maharaj. So there's a 4 years gap in between. That's what I'm saying.
Okay. Okay,
But
maybe.
yeah, I don't know the exact details, but it was Krishna only. He went to Dwaraka, Vyasdev went to Dwaraka, and he called Krishna only. So Krishna was still there at the time when Sukadev Goswami appeared. Or he assured Sukadev Goswami. At least he assured him to come, and then Sukadev Goswami appeared. But it doesn't say that Krishna was present there when he appeared, because as soon as he came, he just left home. He went away. So yeah.
Yeah, I know. We cannot understand this by logic. That's true. Yes, I have second this thing. Just I'm thinking this way, speculation, of course, that when Sukhdev Goswami created another duplicate, it's like we heard, right? We did in Bhakti Vaibhav class that there is another person, like another soul also comes with these eternal associates, as per their desire and karma and all their, and so is maybe one of, I mean, another
Like an
soul.
expansion, you're saying?
I don't know whether you call that expansion or not, but do you understand what I'm saying? Like we had a discussion in the class about Narad Muni. So Narad Muni actually, and whoever wants to be mother of Krishna, or and doing this tapasya, so how they become eternal mother is always there for Krishna, but whenever they are doing pastime in this earthly planet, another soul, if they have that desire and they have been doing penances and austerity and tapasya, then they merge into with them, and then they come and do their pastime. They participate that way, and then the soul, eternal soul, go back to Krishna, and the other person also gets liberated.
Yes.
So probably that's how. I'm just thinking, speculating.
About
That's
this Sukadev, that you're saying
yeah,
some
that's it.
some conditioned soul of this world And then along with like one, along with Sukadev Goswami. Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
Possible.
we can think, but we cannot say it.
I know, yes. That's what I'm saying. Speculating, maybe that way. Maybe. I'm not sure, but yes.
Yeah, yeah. I
Just
it's
trying to
beyond
find
beyond
logic.
my. Yeah, I don't
Yes,
know.
Mataji. Sorry.
Sure, no problem. It's nice. You really think deep about everything. Okay, so Shuka Kanya. Shuka Kanya means daughter of Sukadev. Mentioned in this verse is the daughter of the duplicate or imitation. Imitation, Srila Prabhupada is saying. Duplicate or imitation Sukadev, like a clone or something. Yeah, I mean, maybe someone must have done more, I mean, the details must be given somewhere, what exactly it means by this duplicate or imitation Sukadev. Uh, he was still a person, right? That means there's a spirit soul there. So then who is that spirit soul? The question can come. But uh, as of now, here it is said it's a duplicate or imitation Sukadev. The original Sukadev was a lifelong brahmachari. You see, there's a difference here. It's not like, this is also true, that is also true. It's not said like that. There's one original and the other is duplicate, it is said. Duplicate means it's not real. So whatever that means. But the original Sukadev Goswami is a lifelong brahmachari. But this duplicate or imitation Sukadev, right, had a daughter. If you hear anything further, then you can tell me. Okay, text 26. Maybe we should stop here. It's already time. We'll continue tomorrow. So Rasapriya, did you read today? Madhava read, right? Let's just finish up with Rasapriya, then it's easy to remember. Tomorrow will be Sonia Mataji. Or actually, Lokesh read, right? Lokesh didn't read. We went to the next person. Usha Mataji read. That's right. Usha Mataji read. Is Meda there, Mataji?
No, Mataji, she went to school.
She went to school. Okay. So we'll stop here. If Meda is there tomorrow, she can start reading first. And if Meda is not available, then Narsimhalila Chaitanya Prabhu and family will read. Let's read Bhagavad Gita. Srimad Bhagavad Gita as it is, chapter 1, text 45. Yadimam apratikaram ashastram shastrapanayah dhartarashtrarane hanyus tanme kshemataram bhavet. Better for me if the sons of Dhritarashtra, weapons in hand, were to kill me unarmed and unresisting on the battlefield. So Arjun is saying, after giving so many reasons why he should not fight and how such a disaster is going to happen, not just in the present, all these Kshatriyas will be killed. That means the wives will become widows and all that. That is there. I mean, it's not mentioned in the verses, but we can picture. The family is destroyed. But what Arjun said was, if everyone is destroyed, no one will be left for me to enjoy. What will I do with the kingdom if there's no one with whom I can share and I can enjoy? That was one reason. But then he said, when all the elders are killed, the future is also bleak, right? The whole society will go into chaos because of Varna Sankara. So it's such a sinful activity, and all the ancestors, they will all go to hell. And all the people, now the present family and future, they'll all go to hell. It's such a sinful activity. Instead of performing this sinful activity, sacrificing so many people, sacrificing all the ancestors, the entire society, it's better that I sacrifice myself, right? If I have to fight, if I have to stand on this battle, I will just stand here, let the enemy come and kill me. I will not let them come and kill me. Let me stand there without any weapons in my hand and let them come and kill me, and I may not even resist, right? I'll allow them to just kill me there on the battlefield without fighting back. That is much better for me. For a Kshatriya, he will never think like this, that he'll just stand there and someone will come and kill him and a Kshatriya can never think. We just saw the characteristics of a Kshatriya. He's heroic. It's unimaginable for a real Kshatriya to run away from the battlefield or to show his back to the enemy, or when the enemy challenges him to not fight back. It's unimaginable for a Kshatriya. Still, Arjun, the greatest of all warriors, he's saying, just standing there without any weapons and the enemy comes and kills me and I don't even fight back against a Kshatriya's nature, that is better for me than to kill, especially all these elder members. That's again Arjun's soft heart as a saintly devotee. And of course, there's also the illusion aspect, right? That's also there. So better for me if the sons of Dhritarashtra, weapons in hand, were to kill me unarmed and unresisting on the battlefield. Purport: it is the custom, according to Kshatriya fighting principles, that an unarmed and unwilling foe should not be attacked. Yes? Unarmed and unwilling. So there are certain conditions, if the enemy is intoxicated, that means he's not fit to fight. You shouldn't fight with such an enemy. If he has no weapons in his hand, you should not attack him. First, you give him a weapon, let him fight back. That is the Kshatriya system. And if he's sleeping, you cannot go and just kill the person when he's sleeping. These are all against Kshatriya codes. That is why Ashwatthama's killing of the 5 sons of the Pandavas is condemned. He went and killed the sleeping Kshatriya warriors. And Drishtadyumna he killed. So this is against Kshatriya codes. So it's against Kshatriya fighting principles, right? That an unarmed and unwilling foe should be attacked. This is against the Kshatriya principles. Arjun, right, he is a Kshatriya, still decided that even if attacked by the enemy in such an awkward position, he would not fight. He did not consider how much the other party was bent upon fighting. He's not thinking, at this point, he's not thinking that we didn't ask for this fight. We made every gesture, every attempt to stop this battle, but they are so bent upon this fight, they practically pushed us into this battle. He's not thinking like that, right? This is again the heart of a saintly person, right? He doesn't see the faults in others. Even if there are faults in others, he sees that as his own fault. I want to enjoy the kingdom, for that unnecessarily I'm sacrificing all these people. What kind of a person am I? This is the heart of a Vaishnava. He's not considering they are the ones who cheated us, they are the ones who took away our kingdom, sent us to the forest, insulted our wife, and after we fulfilled the conditions, they didn't even return our kingdom back. We said, okay, no need of kingdom, give 5 villages. They didn't even give us those 5 villages. And Duryodhan said, I won't even give you that much land which will hold the tip of a pin. And he tried to arrest Lord Krishna, who went there as a peace messenger. He's not seeing any of the faults of the enemy. He's thinking, oh, for my own enjoyment, I'm going to kill them. This is such a sinful activity. This is what Arjuna is thinking. So he did not consider how much the other party was bent upon fighting. All these symptoms are due to soft-heartedness, resulting from his being a great devotee of the Lord. And tomorrow will be the last verse of the first chapter. And let's read Srila Prabhupada's Leelamrita. Mm. So we saw yesterday the vision of a pure devotee, right? These people that were coming, the various, hippie group of people that were coming to Srila Prabhupada in New York when he was in Bowery in that loft, they were into meditation, into intoxication also, into music, right? So they had all these ideas. So they were coming there, and Srila Prabhupada was doing kirtan, and they would come and play their musical instruments. For them, it was music come meditation. But what was Srila Prabhupada's vision? He was allowing them to use whatever instruments, but the power is coming from the mantra. So through their, whatever interest they had, he was dovetailing that in Krishna consciousness. They were all into different types of music, jazz and rock and roll and this and that. And Srila Prabhupada allowed them to play their music to accompany his chanting Hare Krishna. So they would also participate in Hare Krishna chanting. What is the result of this? Of course, his association and the chanting of the holy name, that will purify them, right? It will elevate them from their lower modes of nature. So he saw that all types of sounds of music, different instruments, different types of music, he saw everything as Krishna, because he is the Sarva Karana Karanam, he is the cause of all causes. Everything is originating from him. And the original sound is the Lord, is the absolute truth, and the absolute truth is a person, and that person is non-different from his name. So this Hare Krishna chant is that original person, and whatever sound there is in this world, all that sound is emanating from that original person. The first sound is the original person, the Veda. So that's the connection. So whatever sounds they were making, by connecting that with the Lord in the form of his holy name, he is engaging all of them in devotional service to the Supreme Lord. So he saw all these sounds in relation to the Supreme Lord. Carol, whenever he had the chanting, the people were fairly in awe of the Swami. On the Bowery, a kind of transcendence came out of the ringing of the cymbals. He used the harmonium, and many people played hand cymbals, kartals. Sometimes he played the drum. In the very beginning, he stressed the importance of sound and the realization of Godhead through sound. That was, I suppose, the attraction that these musicians found in him. The emphasis on sound as a means to attaining transcendence and the Godhead. So, emphasis on sound as a means to attain transcendence. But he wanted a serious thing. He was interested in discipleship. One serious newcomer was Michael Grant. Does anyone know who's Michael Grant? Yes, Rasapriya. Mukunda Maharaj.
Tamal Krishna Goswami.
No, Mukunda Maharaj. Michael M. Michael Grant is Mukunda Maharaj. Okay. So this is in the very beginning, you see. One serious newcomer was Michael Grant. Mike was 24. His father, who was Jewish, owned a record shop in Portland, Oregon, where Mike grew up. After studying music at Portland's Reed College and at San Francisco State, Mike, who played the piano and many other instruments, moved to New York City along with his girlfriend, hoping to get into music professionally. But he quickly became disenchanted with the commercial music scene. Playing in nightclubs and pandering to commercial demands seemed particularly unappealing. In New York, he joined the Musicians Union and worked as a musical arranger and as an agent for several local groups. So he joined the Musicians Union. Okay. Mike lived on the Bowery in an AIR loft on Grand Street. It was a large loft where musicians often congregated for jam sessions. But as he turned more and more to serious composing, he found himself retiring from the social side of the music scene. His interests ran more to the spiritual, quasi spiritual, and mystical books he had been reading. He had encountered several swamis, yogis, and self styled spiritualists in the city and had taken up Hatha Yoga. From his first meeting with the Swami, Mike was interested and quite open, as he was with all religious persons. He thought genuinely religious people, all genuinely religious people were good, although he did not care to identify with any particular group. So he didn't see himself belong to any particular group, but he appreciated everyone. Mike. There was a little bit of familiarity because I had seen other Swamis. The way he was dressed, the way he looked, older and swarthy, weren't new to me. But at the same time, there was an element of novelty. I was very curious. I didn't hear him talk when I first came in. He was just chanting. But mainly, I was waiting to hear what he was going to say. I had already heard people chant before. I thought, why else would he put himself in such a place without any comforts? Unless the message he's trying to get across is more important than his own comfort. I think the thing that struck me the most was the poverty that was all around him. This was curious because the places that I had been before had been just the opposite, very opulent. There was a Vedanta center in Upper Manhattan and others. They were filled with staid, older men with their leather chairs and pipe tobacco, that kind of environment. But this was real poverty. The whole thing was curious. The Swami looked very refined, which was also curious that he was in this place, right? On one hand, he looked so aristocratic and refined, but he's surrounded by poverty. So this was very curious. When he talked, I immediately saw that he was a scholar and that he spoke with great conviction. Some statements he made were very daring. He was talking about God, and this was all new. To hear someone talk about God, I always wanted to hear someone I could respect talk about God. I always liked to hear religious speakers, but I measured them very carefully. When he spoke, I began to think, well, here is someone talking about God who may really have some realization of God. He was the first one I had come across who might be a person of God, who could feel really deeply. So, this was the impression of Mukunda Maharaj when he first met Srila Prabhupada. With that, we come to the end of today's session. Thank you all, dear devotees. All of you have a wonderful day in Krishna consciousness. We will meet tomorrow. Hare Krishna.